mate.
Hello.
This, I love a bit of retroness, and I've never been a massive Ford fan, but I know you are.
I wouldn't say I'm a massive Ford fan. I had a lot of early Fords in my early days, especially 80s and 90s Fords. I had a Sierra XR4 before. I had a couple of them.
Wowza.
My first car was actually an XR2 Mark II. It was my first car that I had. And I had an Astra GTE. I had a Cavalier.
A lot of retro
A lot
stuff.
of retro stuff.
Well, it's retro now, it's just shit.
Yeah, it was probably a bit crap then. Yeah, then I bought a Mark II Series 2 RS Turbo. And
you like that?
I love that car. I had a little cry. That's the only car I've ever really let go, and I probably shouldn't have done. Let go, and I used that to pay the deposit on my house. And I had a little cry as that drove off up the road, and I've never, yet to this day, never been able to replace it. Admittedly, I've bought a few other cars, and I've not, again, I've got attached to them, and I've been in a fortunate situation where I haven't had to sell them, even if I've bought something else. Or
Red 05 GT turbos for me.
Yeah,
that's what I miss out on.
I think if I was to,
I had a few of them.
If I was to have a pick, so if I got a 10-car garage and I could have what I wanted, I definitely would go back for an XR2. I'm sure it drives horrible. I'm sure people will tell me it drives as rubbish as it did back in the day. But nonetheless, I like the look of them, and I'd want it as a garage piece just to sit in there and I could look at it.
I can understand that.
I really love the Series 1 RS turbos, but they are getting ridiculously priced nowadays. I mean, rightly so. They're getting rarer and rarer, and they are really highly priced. Better looking car than the Mark II, in my opinion. But even in the day, I couldn't afford the Mark 1, so I did buy the Mark II. So yeah, I think I definitely would again replace. I definitely have another one of them. I definitely would need an old Escort. This is in my opinion, again, I'm sure this doesn't drive the best. The steering's heavy on it. It hasn't got any power steering. There's a few bits I want to sort out on it to make it a bit more of a driver. But again, if it just sat in a corner and you were looking at it, I think you'd be ultimately quite happy with it.
It does look very pretty, this.
Definitely on my 10-car bucket list, this one of these, for sure.
It's not on mine, but I like it. I like it. Yeah. So, bit special, this one.
Yeah, so Mark II Escort, RS 2000, I think it's a replica, I don't think it's an original. A lot of fiberglass panels on it, a lot of lightweight panels on it. I'm told the car weighs in at around the 750 to 800 kilo mark, which obviously is light, certainly by modern standards. Roll cage in there, all kitted out, fully restored underneath. On top, it's as clean underneath as it is on the top. 4-link rear suspension. I don't know much more than that, if I'm going to be honest, as regards old Escort, so I won't pretend to and I won't say anything else. But it has got the S2000 engine and gearbox, coupled with, obviously, I'm assuming, a Mark II Escort rear axle of some description. Running on AEM ECU. Came to us as a rough start, on cold start, and obviously...
I don't think it did start.
No, it may have not started, because they said they were really struggling with it. Said it kept fouling plugs. If they went out for a run up the road, it was super rich, it bogged down. Again, it was fouling plugs. So I don't know how new this build is, or in fact how long this car's been built for. I'm assuming it's a relatively new build, in all fairness. So we've run through, done a map, done cold start, to the best of our ability where we are right now. We just need to check through again in the morning and make sure everything's okay. But yeah, we finished down on power, in my opinion, on this car. We finished at around the sort of 220 mark. Is where we had with the air filter setup disconnected. And
yeah,
when I say it's an air filter setup, it's not really. It's a piece of corrugated pipe that goes down to the inner wing, and then there's an air box basically in the inner wing, and then it comes out to a ducting on the front valance, which I'm sure for serviceable cold air is great, but as a restriction, we pulled that pipe off the throttle body and gained like nearly sort of 10 brake, or just over 10 brake by pulling that pipe. So it shows you how much restriction is actually there. I think with a good induction kit on it, because
there's not any room for that.
There isn't, no, and this is the problem. It's the reason they've used the corrugated pipe is so they can route it wherever they need to route it in the engine bay to get to a point where they can put an airbox on it. There is nowhere in the engine bay for an air filter or an air filter setup. It's a shame, because the conduit pipe and the airbox is really strangling it. We've proved that by taking the pipe off, we've gained around 10 brake, but by doing that, that's never the most efficient way, because it doesn't stack the air properly through an induction kit. I really do genuinely feel that we'd be up on standard power on this car, which I don't expect to make any more than stock power, but would make standard power. had it got a decent induction kit on it and a good setup on it. That's not an option. The customer doesn't want to change it. I believe the car is up for sale.
We know this is the best that this is going to be.
Yeah, the best that this car is going to be with the mods and the setup it's got. Again, I feel the exhaust's a little bit small. It's only 2.5 inch, which we all know on the Hondas. They love a 2.75 3-inch always makes more power. So I think that could also be the case. But again, they want to keep the noise down for regulations and stuff, don't they? And you know, for this to enter competitions, I would imagine, or whatever, and it's been built to suit that. So we are where we are, and we've mapped accordingly to the mods the car's got.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful car. It sounds amazing. It has dropped some flames out of the back today, and I have missed them, so I'm disappointed in myself. I've let the team down. I've not captured the flame out of the back of it, so I'm sorry about that. But what a car it is, and I think it's something a little bit special and something very different to what we normally see on the dyno. So
what we might actually do is, because this video is perhaps a little bit shorter than some other ones, I might actually get down in the passenger seat and we'll go for a little ride.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, should we have a look at the graph?
I don't want to go out of it. Let's have a look at the graph. Okay, so this is where we finished. As we said before, it didn't actually run properly when we got hold of it. And 217 brake horsepower, 184 at the wheels. We know it can do better, but unfortunately there's just no room for it. So we'll have one more little look at the car as Richard climbs the stairs to take a really nice photograph. And who wouldn't be happy with a job doing this all day, eh? There he is up the stairs, look. Right, so I think Richard wants to go out in it, so let's go do that. Well, it is time for an outing, and it's been a little while since we've had a test drive. I don't like that diff. No. So we're out in the Escort with the S2000 Honda engine. I believe they call that an F-swap. Okay. It feels quite sprightly. Thankfully the traffic's crap, so I don't have to get that scared. Beautiful day.
Yeah, lovely, ain't it?
Beautiful day for an old retro Escort.
Oh, that really.
In my view, this piece of metal here. Switches. Shifts off the line, Rich. Traffic. Ah. Woo. You can barely hear those brakes. Oh well, I think that's enough for me. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Well, that's what we like to see. A bit of retro and a bit of Honda. What's not to like about that? Let's have a chat with...